Two, check, check, check. Mic two, mic two, mic two. Turn the red up too. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, that's good. Mic three, mic three. Check, 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 check. Mic three. Check, check, check. Mic three, mic three. Okay. This should be 4. Bring it up slow. Just a tad, just a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't need much. I think so, yeah. Check mic, check mic, check mic. Check mic, check mic, check. Check mic, check mic, check mic, check mic. Check mic, check mic, check mic, check mic. 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. They're loud enough for the room. Can anybody hear me? Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll do that. That's why. Yes, please.
Testing 1 2, checking 1 2. Testing 1, love, test. Testing 1 2, checking 1 2, 1 2 3. Take some. La 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 dee dee. Testing 1 2. It's okay. I know how to work it. Check 1 2, check. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take it down. Take it down. Down, 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 down. I think this is good. Oh, let me see. I like to sit up straight these days. So a little inch higher. Yes, practicing the good posture thing. So let me see here. I gotta time this little rascal. Time, time, time. Timer. Boom. Nope, don't do that. Stopwatch. All right. Oh, you turned me off? You turned me off? Turn me back on, though. Please. Thank you. Right here? This is a good distance? Good. They're all standing up. They're not ready. Give them some time. I'll give them the chimes.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, we've been asked to pause 1 second. All right. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to the Center of Peace. We're delighted that you all are here, gathering with us live and in person this morning. I'm Reverend Twana, and so delighted that you all are here in this heat. I want everybody to know that we have cold water and cold Gatorade in the back if you feel like you need some water. So please stay hydrated while you're here this morning. So we have a wonderful service in store for you all this morning. We have our licensed professional practitioners assisting us in our service. We have leading us this morning in our meditation, Hazel Spears. We have leading us this morning in our treatment, Deb Napper. We have leading us this morning in our sacred readings, Alima A. Boyd. We have holding consciousness for us this morning, both Carletta Murray and I think it is Tanya Skeeth. Holding consciousness for us this morning. That is knowing the truth about our time together and its unfolding in the highest and the best. Our music today is being sung forth through Miss Marcy Francis. So I think then that we are all set and ready to go. We have Al and Vern on the ones and twos. We're set and ready to go. I want to take this moment just to invite you to bring your attention and your intention, your consciousness, your awareness into this moment, and to become so fully present in the moment that you don't miss 1 ounce of the love that is here and awaits you. Hazel?
Thank you, Rev T. Good morning, family. Please join me as we go within. Please close your eyes so we can tap into the self that knows all is well, now and always. Breathe in and out slowly as we lower our energy level to one that's a bit more calm and peaceful as we prepare to meditate on the words of great speakers as they are known, those who shared with humankind words to lift and inspire, words of truth and strength. First, let's prepare our bodies and minds for the experience of true receptivity by sensing the feeling of opening to the subconscious. I am going to ask you to tense every muscle in your body and then release. Remember the feeling of release, for it is the doorway to your right brain, your intuitive higher self. Beginning now with your feet, tense all your muscles and hold. Move up your legs and then to your thighs and your buttocks, tensing. Then through your stomach, up to your chest, tensing all your muscles. Your shoulders and your arms, hold them all tightly. Up to your neck and your face and your head, and hold. 4, 3, hold 2, 1, and release. And hold on to that feeling of release. That is the feeling. Return to it often. It is the gateway. Yes. Now as you continue breathing deeply, slowly, Inhaling in, breathing out. We begin our meditation. We meditate each in turn on these wise words of souls that have shared them with us for our spiritual evolution. I will say it, tell you who shared it, and repeat it, and we will meditate on each for about a minute or two. For it is only the finite that has wrought and suffered. The infinite lies stretched in smiling repose. Ralph Waldo Emerson. For it is only the finite that has wrought and suffered. The infinite lies stretched in smiling repose. Please think on that. For it is only the finite that has wrought and suffered. The infinite lies stretched in smiling repose. And breathing, and breathing. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Bob Marley. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Breathe deeply. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. Gautama Buddha. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. Breathe deeply. This too is good. This too is God. This too is for me, and I demand to see the blessing in it for me. Emma Curtis Hopkins. This too is good. This too is for me. This too is for me, and this is God. And I demand to see the blessing in it for me. This too is good. This too is God. This too is for me, and I demand to see the blessing in it for me. Breathe in your life. Come back to this room. Come back to everyday consciousness, left brain consciousness. Give thanks for your access to your connection to the eternal, your eternal higher self, and all the awareness that all is well. And so it is.
There's only one life. There's only one intelligence. There's only one mind. It is the omnipotent energy that governs the heavens, the universe, the earth, the ocean, and all that is, was, and to be. Its substance is which I am created from. It is the energy that animates through me, around and as me, and I am one with it. I am grateful for another opportunity, as today brings for me, to bring a greater expression of this wonderful energy animating through me uniquely as the individualized I am of the greater I am. It is the source that has guided me to the place of the center of peace, where I walked in and heard the preacher, the one spiritual leader at that time, speak such truths that it held me and captured me, and where I came back again to hear more about the truth of who I am and what I am. I'm grateful for today that I can stand before you and demonstrate to you how this center has changed my life and gave me enough understanding that I am worthy. I'm worthy just because I'm created. And that which I speak for me is true for each person. Today I heard a truth that was so wonderful that I have to repeat it again. If I love myself, I can't hurt another, because each of you are an extension of me and are an extension of the divine spirit that created all that is, from love and from perfect thought. So I stand here in this service knowing it's going to unfold perfectly. That Reverend Tawana will give us more truths about the truth of who we are and how we are and what we are to each other and for ourselves. And I'm grateful for that. You will hear singing from wonderful songstress Francis and Kamara, who touches my heart every time I hear their voice, because I know that it's the divine animating through them, giving us such beauty in song, in words, and melody that allows me to be more loving, more centered, and more proud and loving to this world and at peace. You were here. I know that Al, and I know that the video will be perfect. I know all is in divine order, and allow yourself to be embraced with the truth that you will hear and experience, and sit with it, especially if it resonates with you. So I release these words into the law, knowing that they demonstrate. I know my words have power because my words are verbalized thoughts. My thoughts come from spirit, and all is good. I let it rest in the soil and let it manifest, knowing that all is divine, all is perfect, and I'm guarded and guided, and I'm grateful. And so it is.
So let me take a moment just to say thank you to Deb Napper for leading us this morning in our treatment, our affirmative prayer, and to say thank you to Hazel for leading us this morning in our wonderful meditation, giving us an opportunity to come together and to practice. So what we'd like to do now is to turn to our vision and our mission that can be found on the back of your bulletin. If you'd like to join me in reading our vision and our mission, bringing it alive, taking a moment to see it in your mind's eye as already being done. Our vision, a loving and peaceful world where all of humanity is honored as the divinity within is experienced. And our mission, the Center of Peace, is a loving, inclusive, and vibrant community that utilizes and demonstrates spiritual principles and practices to cultivate powerful individuals who together create peace throughout the world. And so it is. So now I'd like to invite you all to please stand and sing with us our congregational song, I'm One. You can find the words to the song on the inside of your bulletin. If you're not familiar with the song, this is the song that one of our licensed professional practitioners wrote himself, I'm One. may be seated. Thank you, Bayless, for that wonderful, wonderful song. So let me take the moment to just welcome you all here again to our Sunday morning celebration. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if this is your first time here at the Center of Peace, we would love for you to know that we are extending love through our hearts and welcoming you into our place and space that we come together to love each other, to encourage each other, and to support each other. So welcome. If you're watching on Facebook Live, if you could type in the comment sections that this is your first time, we'd love to be able to acknowledge you and reach back out to you. Or if you are watching us on YouTube, to leave a comment to let us know you're with us so that we may welcome you into our space. Here at the Center of Peace, we are an open and affirming community. All are welcome here at the Center of Peace. So we have a few announcements this morning. This morning, I want to remind everybody that if you signed up to participate in completing the circle, which is an opportunity that we've created for the congregation to share with our leadership what's working, what they feel we could do better, their ideas about their vision for the Center of Peace. So if you have scheduled to do that today, that's happening at 1:15 after service online through Zoom. Also want to let you know that our next in-person service is going to be August the 21st. That's happening here at the Gathering Place. You will have to RSVP as seating is limited. Today it's about halfway full. It's 100 degrees outside. So I'm guessing, many people decide to stay home. But next month it might not be so hot. And if you want to come and feel the love and experience eye-to-eye, heart-to-heart connection, then make sure you RSVP. We are following CDC guidelines. And again, all are welcome. We are, this year, as we have in many years past, going to be supporting an organization called Families Forward. We will be supporting them with our financial donations, and we're asking you, if it's in your heart, to give to this endeavor. Families Forward is an organization that houses families that are in search of homes. Families Forward, they keep the men, the children, and the families together. It's a part of their mission. And so we feel and have felt in years past to support them and are continuing to do so. So you can give through Tuesday, August the 15th. This is an endeavor that Donna Brown is heading up, but she's not here today, so I'm making the announcement. You can go to our website to give. You can give through Breeze. You can send in a check to our P.O. Box 26774, Elkins Park, 19027. However you decide to give, just please indicate that it's for Families Forward, so we'll be sure to move that money where it belongs and get it to them in a timely manner so that we can support them in their back-to-school drive. So that's happening. Let me see. I guess the last thing is I just want to shout out our practitioners who continue to love and support this community in so many ways. Through their prayers, through offering a meditation, reaching out and checking in with our community. And if you haven't received a call from our practitioners and want to receive a call from our practitioners, you can email us at thecenterofpeace@verizon.net so that we can put you on the list. You can get on one of our practitioner pods so that somebody can reach out to you, check in on you at least once a month. They can provide prayer for you and be there to support you in whatever way you might need support. So as always, like I said, just want to shout our practitioners out who do a wonderful job of loving and supporting this community. Lastly, just want to encourage you to like us on Facebook, follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our website, open your constant contact for further details and information about what's happening here at the Center of Peace. So with that, I think we're ready to move on in our service this morning. I'm going to invite Alima up, who will be leading us this morning in our readings. Alima?
Thank you, Reverend Tawana. Good morning, Center of Peace. I'd like to ask that you read along with me the affirmation. Got it. Oh, please stand. In the silence of the divine indwelling spirit, all life resonates with the life in me. And so it is. And now for the reading. The title of this reading is I See with the Eye of God. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. That's from John chapter 9, verse 25. The ancients said that there is an all-seeing eye, and that if we could cause our physical eye to see with its vision, we should be looking at things as they really are. But is it not true that too often we see with a blurred vision because we are confused mentally? The all-seeing eye of God, by its very nature, being one and only, must forever see things as they really are. This is why Jesus said, "Judge not according to appearances, but to judge righteously." We cannot expect to draw a pattern of this right seeing from the objective world of confusion or our inner thoughts of doubt and fear. Therefore, we are told to see and act according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. That is, we are to look and think independently of the confusion around us. We are to view everything as we feel the divine, infinite, and perfect being must know and understand its own creation to be. This is seeing with the eyes of God. Today I am seeing with the eyes of the divine. I am looking at things in a perfect and direct way. I am seeing through confusion to peace, through doubt to certainty, through fear to faith. Quietly then, I review myself, those around me, and everything that occupies my attention, bringing them all to a broader vision, a deeper insight, a more complete perspective of the infinite harmony that I know is back of, in, and through everything God has made. I am keeping my eye to this one truth, that what God has done is good. Therefore, my experiences are good. What God has created is wonderful. Therefore, I am surrounded with good. In calm judgment, then, I sit quietly with myself and in my imagination look around and see everything according to the divine pattern. As I do this, everything I look upon shall become transformed and reborn. And so it is. And that comes from the 365 Science of Mind book by Ernest Holmes, submitted by yours truly, Alima A. Boyd, licensed practitioner.
Good morning.
Good morning, Center of Peace. That was such a great message. I just had eye surgery, and the message is, I am looking at my music without my glasses. Give thanks, give thanks. Oh, come on, let's raise our hands up high, raise them up high. See, I'm so grateful for this day.
I'm so grateful for
I thank you for this day. Put your hand over your heart. Say, I am love.
I am love.
I am peace.
I am peace.
I am harmony.
I am harmony.
And I give thanks to Center of Peace.
Yes, thanks to the center.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Ashe,
Ashe,
Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe.
Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. I see my family here. I see Pankaj. My family. We started 20 years together, my baby and his son. Oh my God, is that his son? That's the baby? Oh my God. We started here at Center of Peace 20 years ago. Yes, I'm so glad. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And we're
Like a
still
full
here.
Pankaj and Ajay.
Pankaj and Ajay,
Oh,
they're my
what
sons.
joy, what joy.
For many years,
Good to
yes.
see
Yes. Well, I decided for you all to sing with me. Who's going to sing with me? I want to see all hands up. Hands up. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this song is called Stand. And
Stand for peace.
Stand for peace. And since we are peace, and we need the peace throughout our minds, body, and soul, so we're going to be singing it from the head to the whole toes, all around, okay? So it goes like this. Let there be peace, and then you're going to say, I am a stand for peace. Let there be peace.
I am a stand for peace.
Let there be love.
I am a stand for love.
Let there be joy.
I am a stand for joy.
We are making a new world now. Can you say that? We are making a new world now. Oh, take a deep breath in. Ah, let it go, let it go, let it flow. And Miss Camara, she's going to guide you all so we all can be in one accord with the beautiful song. Yes?
Yes.
Can I hear you say yes?
Yes.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be peace.
I am a stand for peace.
Let there be peace.
I am a stand for peace.
We are making a new world now. Can you say that?
We are making a new world now.
Let there be love.
I am a stand for love.
Let there be love.
I am a stand for love.
Let there be love.
I am a stand for love.
We are making a new world now. Let there be joy.
I am a stand for joy.
Let there be joy.
I am a stand for joy.
Let there be joy.
I am a stand for joy.
We are making a new world now. Give me some clapping. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. Let there be joy.
I am a stand for joy.
Let there be joy.
I am a stand for joy.
We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. Sing it again.
We are making a new world now.
Oh, sing it again.
We are making a new world now.
We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. All over the world.
We are making a new
World now. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved.
So while we set things up, can we give Miss Marcy Francis and Kamara another round of applause? Thank you. Betty, is there some way we can turn the air down just a tad bit? There's a remote somewhere. All right. All right. So let us all just take the breath. Knowing that everything is in divine order and we are all right where we are supposed to be. And so this morning we are continuing on with our theme for the year, which is prosperity and abundance, followed by our definition of prosperity and abundance, which is coming to understand, relate to, and rely upon the source of all things more than anything. And as always, I have a few principles I'd like to share with you all just to help get us anchored this morning in our message. And the spiritual principles come from what Ernest Holmes penned as what we believe. And so if you do a search for what we believe online, you'll have in front of you what I have in front of me. So this morning, as always, spiritual principle number 1, we believe in God. Spiritual principle number 2, we believe that God is within, that we are individualizations of the Spirit within us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit, meaning we can never be separate and apart from God. God is not out there, but as the Bible says, that the kingdom of heaven is within. It's to be found within. Spiritual principle number 3. I got to be honest with you. I felt like reading the whole doggone thing of spiritual principles this morning. But I narrowed it down. Spiritual principle number 3. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul. Forever and ever expanding, meaning we are always becoming more of who we really and truly are, and nevertheless. Spiritual principle number 9. We believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of our mind. And spiritual principle number 10. We believe in the eternal goodness and the eternal loving kindness and the eternal givingness of life to all. Let me read spiritual principle 10 again. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. So, Ernest Holmes once stated that what the world needs is spiritual conviction followed by spiritual experience. He said that I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. We're his students. We're the students of this science. So we are here to prove the principles. We're not here to entertain. Though the music is wonderful, it's here to draw you in. The meditation is wonderful. It's here to draw you in. The hugs and the heart-to-heart connections, it's here to create a safe space and a sacred space to draw you in. We're not here to entertain. We're not here to compare. We're not here seeking praise. We're not here to hold on to what changes. We are here to change our lives. We are here to prove the principles, We are here to prove the principles. Come on, say it with me. We are here to prove the principles. And in order for us to change our lives, in order for us to prove the principles, we are coming to understand that we've got to change our ideas, our stories, and our concept about God. And I say that, and I have to say that it's no small thing. It's the one thing that all of us, each of us, keep coming back to the moment that life happens. You got to find your way back to this idea. These concepts about God, these high and holy ideas that we are sharing about God. So it means we have to be willing to know something more about God. If we're going to prove the principles, as Ernest Holmes said, we can speak these words a million times. But if we don't prove the principle, we're just merely uttering words. We are here to prove the principle. Last week, we were invited to consider that all we know about God is all we know. And that all we know is based on our past experiences. And all we know about God, perhaps, is what someone has told us about God. And so that means that there's more to know about God. God is so much more than our past experiences. So, how do you know you need to know more about God, or that there's room for you to know more about God? Well, if you're experiencing the same things that you experienced 20 years ago, you might want to consider that there's something more that you need to know about God. If you're stuck in your story from 10 years ago, then that's a sure sign that you need to be open and willing to know something more about God. Even if you're stuck in the story that you've been telling yourself about God and about your experience just a minute ago, just an hour ago, just yesterday, then that's a sure sign that there's something more that you need to come to know about God. If your heart is still shut off based on what happened yesterday, there's room to know something more about God. We've got to take the limits off of God that we've placed on God. We're here to prove the principles. Because when we take the limits off of God, we take the limits off of ourselves. Ernest Holmes says that we are in bondage only to a false sense of self. Who you think you are. Who other people think you are. Who you think that you are not. We are in bondage to a false sense of self. We have to ask ourselves, what does he mean by that? What exactly does he mean by that? And maybe it is that we're pretending to be someone that we're not. A false sense of ourselves. Or maybe we're not really being who we really and truly are. A false sense of self. Maybe we haven't got to a point where we are willing to allow love to be expressed through us, to allow joy to be expressed through us. A false sense of self. Maybe we are holding on to the pain and holding on to what happened out there and what somebody did to us, to me. A false sense of self. A Course in Miracles states, I am as God created me. And, you know, one difference between people in the north and the people down south is that the people down south, they like to say little sayings if they agree with you. You know what I'm talking about? Like up here, we just be like, word, cool, like that. But down south, you know, I have an aunt, my Aunt Barbara, who's my mother's sister. They say a few more words with their agreement with you, right? So they may say something like, you better know it, right? So the Course in Miracles says, I am as God created me, my Aunt Barbara would say, and you better know it. Right? Is this kind of thing going on? I am as God created me. You better know it. Of course, in Miracles, in lesson 110, it says, this one idea alone is enough to save you and the world. Not that there's anything that you need to be saved from, perhaps except for your false sense of self, but that there would be enough if you believe that it is true. It says that today's idea is therefore all you need to let complete correction heal your mind and give you perfect vision that will heal all the mistakes that any mind has made at any time or place. It is enough to heal the past and make the future free. It is enough to let the present be accepted as it is. You better know it. If you remain as God created you, appearances cannot replace the truth. Health cannot turn into sickness, nor can death be substituted for life or fear for love. All this has not occurred if you remain as God created you. You need no thought but just this one, to let the redemption come to light in the world and free it from the past. And this one thought is all that the past undone, the present saved, to quietly extend into a timeless future. If you are as God created you, then there has been no separation of your mind from its mind. There's only a unity. The healing power of today's idea, the Course in Miracles says, is limitless. It is the birthplace of all miracles, the great restorer of the truth of the awareness of the world. This is the truth that comes to set you free. This is the truth that God has promised you. This is the word in which all sorrow ends. I am as God created me. This is the truth. This one thought, this one idea, this one concept of God, where God, the infinite and the allness of God never ends. This one idea is enough for whatever. It's enough, and you better know it. It's enough for whatever hinders, whatever haunts, whatever it is that we are denying. It's enough to rid the chaos and the confusion, the doubt, the worry, the fear. It's enough to open up what's within us to be expressed outwardly in our world. Not out there, but right here. It's one idea. And our principle this morning reminded us that we are the individualizations of the Spirit within us. Each one of us. And what's within us is all. And what's within us is without limits. It's all and it is without limits. And what binds us to this allness that is infinite, ever seeking to be expressed through us, is truth. It's truth. Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker, in their book, Richer Thinking, they have a reading that's titled, I Am the Truth. You better know it. I am the truth. We're coming to know something more about God. We're here to expand our ideas and our concepts about God. We're here to take God out of the box, take the limits off God so that we can take ourselves out of the box and take the limits off of ourselves. That's what we're talking about this morning. And the way for us to start to let go of the false sense of self is through, as Ernest Holmes says, conscious communion of the soul with its source, and a conscious union of man with God, and a conscious union of our heart's desire with the source of its being. That is prosperity and abundance. That is living a prosperous and an abundant life. Every time we remember to come back and to enter into a conscious communion with what's within and what's infinite. Every time we choose to come back to unite ourselves with the source of all things, where our heart's desires become clear and clear, become more of God's idea than it is our idea. A new concept about God, a new idea about God. Ernest Holmes says, God lives in me and expands me. God lives in me and enlarges my life. We become more and never the less. I am as God created me. I am the truth. We said last week that the only God that we can know is the sum total of our thoughts about God. That's why we have to be willing to affirm that God lives in me and God enlarges my life so that we can come to know something more the moment we need to know something more. Here's the thing. It's not the truth that you know that sets you free. It's the truth that you are committed to that sets you free. Everybody knows truth. Everybody can spit it out to you, can give it to you, but you have to be committed to it. It's how we begin to unshackle ourselves, get rid of our false sense of ourselves. We have to be committed to the truth. Remember to speak it without exception and without fear. I am as God created me. I am the truth. And if you're not committed to understanding that I am as God created me, that I am the truth, if you're not committed to having a conscious union with what's within, you'll never get to a place where you are proving the principles. Remember, we're here to prove the principles, to change our lives. You'll be waiting on God while God and the universe will be waiting on you. You'll be stuck in seeking people's opinions and waiting for praise instead of proving the principles. We are here to prove the principles. You'll be tethered to opinions and praise rather than proving the principles. The thing is that people's opinions change. The principles don't. Your opinion about yourself changes, but the principles don't. This lesson is so important. As the Course in Miracles says, if we could get it, if we could come to believe it, it is enough to change our lives. In the moment that we needed to change our lives. You know, stepping into the senior minister role in a community where people were grieving, we were all grieving, and was grieving the loss of Reverend Sheila for years. And we're all human. There was perhaps the desire in some of us to compare, to create our opinions about Reverend Sheila and her greatness and her delivery and her ministry, perhaps to me in jeans with my hair cut off, cussing and stomping and you know, doing whatever I do. But thank God that the principles don't change. We're not here to be engaged in people's opinions, nor their praise. We're here to prove the principles, to prove the principles, to prove the principles. I want us to consider this morning that unlike Janet Jackson's question of, what have you done for me lately? Let our question be to ourselves as we go out this week, what am I willing to do? Last week we asked, what are you waiting on? And this week ask yourselves, what am I willing to do? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to do more of? I am as God created me. You better know it. What are you willing and ready to have to be expressed through you? What is this moment in life inviting you to know more of? What is seeking to be expressed through you? Whose opinion is it time to let go of? And who exactly are you seeking praise from? And are you ready to release your desire to move into and to have praise about what you do and what you don't do? People's opinions change, but the principle remains the same. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to move into a conscious communion with what's within? Are you willing to let go of your own ideas and concepts about God? Are you willing to create a new concept about God where what's infinite and all is forever and ever expanding? Where we come to embody and embrace it as our own life. I am as God created me. What's infinite and all inside of me is forever and ever and ever. Whatever I need, whenever I need it is available to me. I mean, are you willing to be led, guided, and directed? Are you ready to move when God says move? Are you ready to forgive when God says forgive? Are you ready to allow love to be expressed and experienced through you? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to ask yourself, what's the most loving thing I can do right now? In this experience, what's the most loving thing I could do? I had to ask myself that early on in ministry. What's the most loving thing I can do as people compare and praise and don't praise? What's the most loving thing I could do as I get myself centered in the principles? What's the most loving thing I can do is love you. The best way I know how. What's the most loving thing I could do is I could free them to be who they are. I could give them the time and the space that they need. What's the most loving thing I could do? I can let you off the hook. What's the most loving thing I can do? I can let myself off the hook. What's the most loving thing I can do? It's no small thing. It's expanding our concept about God. It's unlocking, taking the shackles and the limitness off of God so that we can take the shackles and the limitations off of ourselves. You better know it. You better know it. I am as God created me. You better know it. And when I come to understand this, when we come to understand this, I am the truth. When we come to understand that, then we'll always be proving the principles. We are here to prove the principles, to prove the principles, to prove the principles. We're here to prove the principles. Come on, practitioners. Join me up front as we just take a moment to anchor the ideas, the songs, the messages that we all have been receiving since we walked in the door this morning. Let us take this moment and this opportunity to turn within, to allow the words to sink deeper into our heart, our mind, our soul, and our spirit, where we come to know something more about God, where our ideas and our concepts about God are infinite, and the allness of God is experienced right here, right now. For I know that we can never be separate and apart from this allness. We can never be separate and apart from God. We can never be separate and apart from love. We can never be separate and apart from life. We can never be separate and apart from good, the good that we ought to have. For we are as God created us. And we take this moment and this time to unify with this idea, releasing and breaking the shackles of our false sense of self, letting it all go. And affirming and knowing in this moment for each one of us that we are the allness of God, that I am the truth and that you are the truth, and everything that you need is within. I speak my word for each one of us this morning, knowing that we come to a place within ourselves where we become willing to ask the question, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to release? What am I willing to let go of? And to be moved when God moves us. To let go of the thing when we are moved to let go of it. To release our opinions and to release praise. To be open to the principles being proved in our lives. Love and more love. It's infinite and unending abundance and perfect health and wholeness. The revealing of God happening all over the place. I affirm for you and I affirm for me that right here and right now, the kingdom of God is at hand. Nothing that happened yesterday can keep me from it. And no outside opinions of me and about me can keep me from it. I am determined and committed to prove the principles in my life. A freedom from all discord, an experiencing of heaven right here and right now, a changing and controlling of conditions inside of me that is demonstrated outside of me. We are demonstrating that we know who we really and truly are, demonstrating the principle that we believe in our own soul, our own spirit. Nothing outside of me, everything within me is the same thing that is within you. We see it, we recognize it, we call it what it is. We call it good, we call it God. We affirm and know for each other then that we are as God created us. Make it personal and say, I am as God created me. And that's more than enough. It's more than enough. It's more than enough for whatever might be before you. And I give thanks for this moment of pause, this moment of clarity, this moment of coming together heart to heart, this moment of inspiration, this moment of a greater sense and willingness to move forward and creating a new concept about God. I'm also grateful for lives being changed, for us setting down a moment our old concepts of God and being open to something new. Grateful, 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 grateful. And so moved in this moment just to simply to take these words and turn it over into the law that I know is always acting upon these words now. That our heart's desires moves into a conscious union with the source of all things. Oh, I know it is done. It is already done in joy. And so I stand in great gratitude and acceptance of it. Expecting this or something so much greater. If you are in agreement with me, then come on and join me and anchoring by saying, and so it is.
Can I just let go? Can I just let go? to be free. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. If I can let go, heaven's at hand right now. New life is awaiting while I'm rearranging these old facts of mine. Yeah. But I'm tired of holding on. My heart is making an authentic appeal. It's such a sweet invitation, mandate of ecstasy. Don't hold any longer. Drop your tools and follow me. I won't abandon my vision. It's time to release. Oh, I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. Yeah. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. Yeah. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. Yeah. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. The power of God is guiding me. Surrender to what I've got to be. And deep within, God loves me so. Let go, I'm letting go. With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. And deep within, God loves us so. Let go, I'm letting go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, yeah, let go, yeah. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. If we can let go, the darkness will fade. Pray to let go, let go, let go. Let go, let God, let go, let go.
And so it is. So it is. God's idea. Let us all take a collective breath. As we move on in our service into that time where we come together to share and to give to the Center of Peace, I want to ask Alima and Babs to come forward as we take this moment just to turn within, to move into prayer. So I invite you just to turn within with me, where we are so united with the source of all things, that there is a true recognition that we can never outgive the giver. For life is forever giving of itself. And as we know that, then we just come together in this moment with our hearts wide open, given from a place of joy, knowing that all that we give to the center of peace, that it moves us forward in creating a safe space and a sacred space, so that anybody and everybody may create a new concept, a new idea about God, a safe and sacred space where we come together to know that what is within is all that there is and infinite. That the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I know that all that we receive today, that it moves us forward. Improving the principles and inviting others to join us in proving the principles, creating peace together in our world. So I know that just as we are blessed, that the giver too is blessed, that the giver receives 1,000,000 times fold, for I know it can be no other way. So for every cent that we receive, I give thanks. Oh, I do give thanks. And so it is.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything
all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart aligned in purpose. Everything
all
will
that
feel
I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all,
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I get back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's 1,000,000 things that I can be grateful for.
so I lift my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am, all that I see,
Everything I hope and
all
everything I
that I've
dream,
been,
everything I feel
and all
and everything I
that I'll
be. I
ever
look deep
be
down and feel all the
is a
so it is, and so it is, yes. So as we prepare to sing our closing song, I'm inviting our choir members, those who are here, to come forward and lead us in the singing of our closing song, Our Release. It can be found on the back of your bulletin. I just want to take this moment to say thank you to all who continue to love and support the Center of Peace, giving to us financially, holding us in prayer, seeing the highest and the best for us. So come on up. Let me ask you all to stand and join us in singing our closing song, Our Release.
Come over here. I want it in the middle. Sit by the mic. How about a hand for Reverend T? Did she spread the word?
There was a time. Can you start that again, please, Al? Please start it from the top. You were saying there was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself.
Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand.
Now I can say, if you're discouraged, wanting just to make it another day,
you have got to let it go.
Let it go.
Let it all go. And this is what you got to do. Everybody, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Open wide now. I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife, no. With my faith, I am free, I'm all free. Yes, I'm only here for God. I let go. The Spirit. Let it run your life now. And my heart is open wide. Only here for God. No more struggle. No. With my life I see the light. Free in the Spirit. Only here for God. Holy Spirit, yes, I'm only here for
God. And so as we journey on throughout the week, I encourage you to have and be open to a new concept, a new idea about God. Be committed to proving the principles. Be willing to affirm, I am as God created me. And you better know it. And so it is. Have a wonderful week, everybody. we have some water and tea, snacks in the back.
In the back.
Yeah.
Snacks and the food in the back.